Hey everybody, it's Mortgage Mike. Welcome to another episode of Malting with Mortgage Mike. House cleaning out of the way, just get it done. My NMLS ID is 292331. Movement Mortgage is an equal housing opportunity lender. So we can move on. We can move on to the most important thing we have here, which is people, friends, and beer. So welcome to another episode of Malting with Mortgage Mike. We're at Under the Radar Brewery here in Houston, Texas in Midtown. Yeah, let me tell you something. I've already had a beer. It rocks. Great beers, man. Super tasty, easy to drink, especially on the warm summer days that we're about to step into. So, yeah. So I've got some guests with us here today. Obviously, we know Julie. Julie, why don't you give yourself
everybody. Julie Lehman with Select Title.
Yeah, Julie. And I got a special guest host, and this is Heath. Hops with Heath. He's about to take over my show.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. I'm stealing it and going my own way with this thing.
So, Heath, tell us a little bit about yourself,
help,
friend.
I'll be a guest, okay?
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah.
I do the same thing as Mike, but we're buddies, and today I'm just a friend hanging out. So.
Friend hanging out.
That's right.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Hey,
bud.
but you know what? Heath rocks it in the mortgage world. Dude's super experienced, man. Like, I remember hearing him a while back talking to some clients. I was like, why aren't you a loan officer? And because he was an assistant for a really big team. And dude, I'm proud of you, man. You made the jump.
Appreciate it.
You're doing good work, man.
Appreciate it. I got lofty expectations to meet,
Man.
but it's fun. We're going to have a good time doing it.
Well, you know, the other thing we get to do is we get to help people get into a home, right? And in the end, like, we provide a valuable service that changes lives, and that's really the cool part.
That's why I do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we got our special guest host here, Mike, one of the owners here at Under the Radar Brewery. So,
howdy.
Yeah, Mike, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, so when we came in, we surprised Mike. I just got to tell you, like, you know, we do this show, we just show up, we it's like a pop-up tent, and we surprise the brewery. We're like, hey, we're here and we're doing a show. So Mike was in the back brewing beer. And had no idea that we're coming. So can you maybe give him a little shot of your boots?
All right, yeah.
So Mike's
my brewing boots
on his brewing boots right here. So he was totally ready for us.
I think everybody needs to meet Moose.
Oh my goodness. Hey Moose, can you stand out, buddy?
Come here, Moose.
Come here. Okay, Mike and I, we're kindred spirits, not because we have the same name, because that's part of it, and we like beer, by the way. But look at this. He's got a golden doodle.
Look at this.
I have a golden doodle.
Oh,
His name is
Moose.
Moose. Yeah, can you see Moose?
You're an internet sensation,
Yes, you
Moose.
are. And I got a Mac. So Mike's got a Moose and Mike's got a Mac.
Come here, Moose.
And they're both standard-sized golden doodles. So love these dogs.
Oh man, they're the
I
best.
love them, man. I know.
They're the best.
I could do a show on golden doodles. Actually, we could do a beer show on golden doodles.
There you
Are
go.
you in?
That's basically what we're doing.
Okay, right now. We're doing it right now.
He is so cute.
He is. He's the best dog I've ever owned. Sweet dog.
Man, I've never owned a dog before, and I'm going to tell you, my Golden's the best dog I've ever owned.
One of our guests has a golden doodle.
And she has a so obviously golden doodles are pretty popular these days. So
They are
they're sweet dogs.
great temperament.
Yeah,
Always happy.
yeah. That
Really
was just
smart.
Yeah.
Really smart.
Yeah, that describes my dog pretty much. Happy,
She's
smart.
Done
so,
with it.
yeah, out of here.
Not that impressive.
Yeah, Moose
Yeah.
comes with me every day to the brewery and hangs out and runs around the yard
Nice,
here.
like a dog's life.
It's a perfect life.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
But does
yeah.
Moose
I want to
like
be
beer?
Moose.
I tried to feed Moose beer once, and he didn't like
He
it.
didn't
like
like it.
it.
He,
Yeah, probably a good thing, right?
Smart dog.
Mhm.
Smart dog.
Smart
Does your
dog.
dog like beer?
No, and my dog doesn't like beer. Although he tries.
It
to
might
drink
have been. It might have been the beer. I was drinking a Dogfish Head breakfast beer,
Ooh, yeah.
and then I was like, "Oh, you want some?" I put some in the dish, and he just sniffed it, and he didn't.
He's like, oh yeah, no. He's like, Dad, I hang out with that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe the raspberry thing he might have liked.
I like this. I like the raspberry love for sure.
You like the
Sure.
raspberry?
Oh man, that.
How's that dirty blonde?
That's
The
good.
dirty blonde is good.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? It's
I'm
considered
drinking
this is your beer.
Midtown Bach.
Midtown Bach. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. You know, it's Friday. I
It
love
is.
Friday.
And can we
especially
do
on
a
Friday
quick
afternoon.
nerdy, because everybody's done it today
Yeah.
with the 4th and May the 4th.
Oh,
and all
Oh,
that
May the
stuff.
4th.
May the 4th be with you.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
For all
May
you
the
Anyway.
4th be with
geeks
you.
out there,
Yeah.
May the 4th.
Onion.
And Cinco de Clincos tomorrow, too,
Cinco
I
de
think.
Clinco. Okay.
So,
Well, and I would like, you know what? I don't know if y'all. I'm gonna give you a little bit about myself. You probably don't know this, right?
No, bring it on.
I'm gonna bring it on.
Let's
I'm
hear
gonna
it.
be a little
Let's
bit
feel it.
vulnerable. I'm gonna be out there. I love Fridays. One, because Friday's just Friday, right?
That's right.
And then we get to have a malting with Mortgage Mike on a Friday. But what I really, really enjoy about a Friday is do y'all listen to KTSU? Does anybody listen to KTSU radio on a Friday afternoon?
Who listens
No,
to
I
radio?
don't listen to any radio.
Well, okay,
I
so
don't know.
but you can get it on. I'm driving around.
Actually, I'm
Okay,
a Pandora user.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
on Amazon Music.
Well, KTSU, and you can get them online, right? So KTSU on Friday afternoons has this awesome show that does R&B, kind of old school 70s, 80s, like Michael
Okay.
Jackson,
There you go.
Teddy Pendergrass, Barry White. I mean, it's like this whole broad spectrum of music. And what I really love about it is they get. Okay, I'm gonna say it.
Oh man, here we go.
They have some pretty raunchy songs that come on. I've never heard these songs in my entire. Beyond that, there is one where a woman talks about a fishing pole, and it's not fishing in the right hole.
Wow.
Something about it being too big and you might fall in. I'm just saying. I mean, that's
Wow.
and it's I don't know if there's got to be a genre of this music, but I'll call my wife. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta hear this.
So be honest though, are you like a singer? Do you let it go in the car? People look over at you and they're like,
when nobody else
"Is
is
this
in the
guy
car.
okay? What is he
Yeah,
doing?"
yeah, when nobody else is in the car, I will.
I do it.
So
I do it
I'm
too.
at lunch earlier with some agents at Revival, and I go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, the lady in the stall next to me, I shit you not, excuse my language, starts breaking out singing to the music, and I'm like,
On the potty.
on the
That's
potty.
nice.
I mean, she's going, it's like 80s music playing, and she's just going.
Wow.
So then I had to
Oh my
stall and
God.
wash my hands because I'm like, I gotta see who this lady is that
Uh-huh.
comes out of
Yeah.
the stall.
Yeah.
Give her a
And
round
I
of
Yeah,
did.
that
I
is-
was like, great
That's
job.
strong. Lady in the
I
stall.
mean, like-
Strong.
Good
There you
job.
go.
Good job,
Wow.
lady stall.
I mean, like jamming.
Yeah.
I was like,
Hey,
wow.
when you feel it, it's got to
I
come out.
know.
In so many
Belt it out.
ways.
Belt it
So
out.
many ways.
Just leave it there.
Just saying, we're gonna leave that.
I have to slow down.
Yeah,
man. Slow
yeah.
down.
And Heat's already just jumped
Yeah.
out.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to be cognizant of how quickly I'm drinking this beer. I've never been in front of a camera drinking beer before.
Wow.
So
They
you
tend
know,
to go down really
Yeah.
fast.
Capturing every moment right now.
Yeah, this is great.
And then they get to
Yeah.
replay it back later.
I know, right? You're like,
love it.
oh my god.
So hey, Mike, tell us a little bit about the story here at Under the Radar. How you guys how you came about as a brewery, where did the idea come from? How did it grow?
Okay. It was three of us partners joined together. We were
Okay.
home brewers.
Nice. How long ago was this?
We started home brewing 8 years ago.
8 years
Oh,
ago.
wow.
Okay.
About 8 years ago in Ned's garage. Ned's my partner. And we were brewing a lot.
Bye.
Okay, so you start out with the home brew kit and pour the extract syrup into the water, and we said, well, that's not good enough. So we went straight to all grain after our first batch.
Right. You said we can make it.
We can make it from
We don't-
scratch.
yeah.
I
don't need.
don't want any of this
Pre-made,
pre-made
yeah.
stuff. So we went straight to all grain the second batch, and that's when I actually joined Ned and my other friend Herb, and we brewed a lot. And then we were tailgating at the Dynamo.
Okay.
And so we were just giving our homebrew away to all of our friends and people that
yeah.
show up to the tailgate. We're like, yeah, go Dynamo, and
Here's a beer.
here's a beer,
Yeah.
And people are like, man, this is really good. You should do something with this. We're like,
Yeah.
No, okay, you're just being
We're
nice.
just having fun.
Yeah.
You don't really like
You don't really like. Yeah, you just like free beer.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's understandable. And then two of our friends got married and said, how about you supply all the beer for the wedding? We're like, whoa.
Wow.
That's serious.
That's the first gig right
That's
there.
like the first gig, and we're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do that. So we brewed day and night, got what we thought was a lot of beer. We were like, oh man, we brewed like 5 batches. We're like,
Five
we got,
batches.
man, 5.
What constitutes a batch? How big is?
Well, at that time we had a 10-gallon system, so we brewed 50 gallons of beer.
You
We're
think
like,
that'd be enough, right? That's like
Yeah.
a keg,
Like,
right?
okay.
That's not, it depends
no,
on how
that's
big the wedding
probably like
Yeah.
3 or 4 kegs.
3 or 4 kegs.
Yeah.
That's 3 or 4 kegs worth
Wow,
of beer. And we're like, okay, man,
Yeah, we're ready.
okay, we're ready. We actually, Dirty Blonde is our beer that we've been brewing the longest. We took
Okay.
it. That's the one we took to the wedding.
Wow.
And
Good choice, Julie.
they were like, man, and we didn't, and they didn't tell that we were the ones supplying the beer. We were just, supplying the beer, and the people at the wedding, the guests, were like, man, where can I get this? And I'm like, okay, maybe there is
Yeah.
something to
Ding,
this.
ding,
Maybe
ding,
we
ding,
should,
ding.
maybe we
Yeah.
should do something with this. We're pretty good at this, And then we really sat down in the garage and put together a business plan. And
Oh, that's great.
Over some beer, right? You
That's-
drink
oh
beer,
yeah,
you
we're
business
always drinking while we're
How long?
I mean,
it's
how long was it
It's
from that
work.
gig?
I'm
It's
working
work.
right
How long was it
now.
from that
Totally
gig
working.
to like this?
You know, we there was a little bit of back and forth between the initial founders of our brewery here, and we said, well, maybe we can do this, and then one of our founders had a kid, so it kind of pushed it back, and then maybe like 8 months later, we officially started, and we were like, okay, we've got a good plan together. Let's get this. So we signed a lease. We said, okay, we know what we're doing. Let's get the permits. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And it was actually it kind of catalyzed at a Christmas party. Ned was at a Christmas party, and he was talking to some people. I was like, only if I could find a small warehouse.
Yeah.
And the guy right behind him was like, only if I could rent my small warehouse. And I was like, yes!
Exactly,
What
right?
is that? That is
And
like
that's how this
fake,
place
yeah.
go. Like, so
And we can see you got, what are the tall, like, in the back? What's that? Is that the...
that's our fermenters.
That's the
So
fermenter, okay.
in the back of our place, we got the fermenters.
Okay.
So the first couple of tanks is our brew house, and then in
Yeah.
the back is our fermenters.
Okay, so it all runs back.
Yeah, we have like
Okay.
a little process room. City of Houston, with all their permitting and stuff, made us build a little room around our brew house.
Okay.
So how long have
Like,
y'all
and there
been
you
here?
go.
What?
How long have y'all been here?
So about a year and a half, August 20 something.
Right
Wow,
before, right
great.
before
Actually, Hurricane Harvey.
Harvey, right?
Hurricane Harvey
Yeah.
was our 1 year anniversary. So,
Right on. Right on.
So woo!
Yeah. And you had a party.
Yeah,
And
we
it
had
got
a
rained out.
party afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, after actually we didn't flood too bad here in Midtown.
That's good.
So we got really lucky.
That
With
means our anniversary's at my birthday. Because my
We're
birthday
coming
was
back.
Harvey.
We're coming back on her birthday.
yeah, you should.
So,
back.
which
We're
is
gonna-
why Dirty Blonde, hence blonde hair.
Yes.
That's why it's your beer.
Hey, I just actually that was the batch I was brewing today. I just brewed another batch of Dirty Blonde.
I
So
texted to my husband. I'm
Nice.
like, I found my new favorite beer.
this is great. I mean, I love Dirty Blonde. It's got Mount Hood hops and Tettnang hops. It's a blonde with personality for sure.
I have to try it.
Yeah, that's
Which
very
one? Which
fitting.
one is the dirty
It would be
blonde?
this one right here.
Hey, did you drink? Are you drinking dirty blonde?
I
Or are you
might have
drinking the box?
accidentally sipped one of yours earlier, just
Okay,
when you
so
weren't
you-
looking, but
I'm
It's
going
okay,
for
We'll
it.
try
you can-
again.
you
I'm
can
jumping
sip it
in.
on.
I'm jumping in.
Jump
Okay,
in.
so where can I buy your beer in town
Mhm.
besides here?
So we've got about
Oh, that's-
100 different accounts around town. I couldn't actually tell you all of them.
Do you have any in Cyprus? Because I'm a bird girl and live in Cyprus.
A burb girl.
Bird boy.
I'm a bird.
We're up in the woodlands in a lot of places,
So no
and
Cyprus.
Not yet.
I don't
yet.
not yet, not yet.
We
We'll
met,
get-
we met your sales
But
guy.
I can buy beer to go, right?
Buy growlers
actually,
here.
we are a brewery, so
Okay.
we're not a brew pub.
Okay.
That's the unfortunate circumstance of living in the state of Texas.
Yeah, we got jacked
So-
up laws.
What's the distinction again?
Brewery is
Just can't take it.
You
you
can't,
can't
take it
take
out.
to-go beer
Makes
with
sense.
you. You
Yeah.
can consume here.
Everything you want.
Everything you want, you
Yeah.
can consume here because we have a tap room and we're below the 60,000 barrels that I would need to make if they said you can't have a tap room anymore.
Yeah.
So
So do they?
We can't buy growlers.
Well,
no?
no, you can't buy.
Now-
Unfortunately, you can't buy growlers here, but we do sell to Growler USA out in Katy, and we sell to.
What about premium drought? Do you sell
We've been
to those
we've been to Premium
Okay.
Draft, we've been to Jugs, we've been to a bunch of other growler fill
Okay.
places.
guys? Got it.
Okay.
D&Q, shout out to them over there, just on Richmond,
Cool.
a couple miles away from us.
So-
Okay.
So there's
By the way-
places to get it. This,
There's
I'm gonna say
places
this
to get
is
it.
tasty beer. Really, really good.
It is.
So I think you're about to allude to something about needing a change politically. Were you about to say something
Yeah.
along those lines? I mean, is there some
Yeah,
movement?
there's if you guys would look
yeah,
for
check this
the
out.
Texas Craft Brewers Guild has a political action committee.
Yeah.
Please look us up. Favorite us, favorite all of the things that the Texas Craft Brewers Guild does for the local craft brewery industry here
Heck yeah.
in Houston,
Yeah.
and support and call out to your senators and representatives.
Yeah. It just needs to change, right?
it
I
needs
mean,
to
this
change.
is like this is
Texas is very, very antiquated in its laws. In fact, we are the last state in the union that
Okay.
doesn't allow breweries to sell to-go beer to you guys.
that's crazy.
We're the
That
last
is-
one.
crazy.
We're the last state.
And so, what is holding it up, right? Other than like maybe the really big
Well, no-
beer people in the state, but
Big
you know,
beer
Yeah.
distributors.
distributors, yeah, because you can cut
Distributors.
them out.
And we need a whole lot of support from local people that listen to this show. We need a whole lot of support where you're calling your representative saying, support these house bills, support these ones, and look on the Texas Craft Brewers Guild website for which ones we support.
Got it. So you're watching the show, right? The 800 to 1,000 are going to get this, and you need to go find the Texas Craft Brewers Guild. Yeah. Go figure out what's going on and give them some support.
And
so we get some more of this beer out.
I would imagine too, it's a matter of time, right? Because the industry here, I mean, it's picking up, right?
It is picking up.
It's crazy how many breweries are opening up.
Okay, so we started a year and a half ago, and when we started, there was 15 or so breweries, and now there's 45 plus breweries.
Dude, I got a map
town.
that's totally antiquated.
Wait a minute.
This map, it doesn't even cover the amount of breweries.
When did you make that, man?
I did not. I bought it from Premium Travel. Because that's actually the idea for the show. I picked this map up. I was like, I
do one in everyone, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, this doesn't cover everybody.
There's another good map over at DeFalco's. Shout out to the home brew stores out there.
Okay.
DeFalco's over on Stella Link on the South Loop.
Cool.
They've got a good map in there. They put pins on all the breweries, the little craft breweries.
So you just know where to go.
Yeah,
absolutely. What I'm going to say is that thank God that we have craft brewers and people like you that are making really tasty, yummy beer. Because Lord knows we've been stuck with crappy beer for a long time, right? And it's
Bud
like we don't
Light's
need
not doing
crappy
it for
beer.
you.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I don't need that.
I'm over it.
I can't drink that stuff. So hey, let's jump into some beers. Let's taste some beers. How about that? So why don't you just walk us through?
I'm so thirsty.
Okay.
Do you want me to share mine with you, Heath? Give me a portion.
If it takes too much. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead. I'm waiting for you.
You got
First
you
one in
talk.
your glass.
Please.
First some in your glass.
Pour some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it is a beer drinking show.
Okay, so
start us off with what you
on this side we've got our regular beers or the usuals. We've got Radar Love, a Hefeweizen.
Nice.
Dirty Blonde.
Yes.
It's obviously a blonde beer. We've got a Midtown Bock. Mid-Frequency IPA. And Porter Authority.
Yes.
Okay.
So
because of Houston, obviously.
Right.
It's like dome foam.
So walk us through that one. Tell us about what do we get when we start to drink. And I totally forgot what this one was.
This one's Radar Love.
Radar Love. Okay.
Radar Love is it's a traditional Bavarian Hefeweizen.
Okay.
It is going to be a mix of wheat and barley malts. So according to the Reinheitsgeborts, German purity law of like 1500s, they're going to say, hey, you can't put more than 51% wheat in beer because wheat is what we make bread out of, and you're putting food in beer, and that's against the law. So,
hey, we're not the only ones that have crazy laws.
So
that's right.
So
you're
in Germany, if you wanted to make 100% wheat beer, you can't call it a wheat beer. You got to call it something else.
Okay.
Because you have 100% of the wheat, and that you're putting food in beer. So a Bavarian style Hefeweizen, and again, this is all just historical background.
Yeah.
But a Bavarian Hefeweizen has a good portion of it is wheat and a good portion of it is barley.
Okay.
And that's what we've tried to imitate here.
Okay.
We took Weihenstephaner yeast.
Nice.
And
that sounds German.
Weihenstephaner has been brewing since like.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! I've been to.
Oh my gosh! Like the 1300s or something.
Yeah,
like,
I've been to Munich for Oktoberfest.
Exactly. Yeah. So Weihenstephaner. So it's a very popular yeast strain for this style of beer.
Okay.
Let me ask you something real quick. So based on the mix, right? The content. If it's got more of that in it, does it make it stronger just in terms of alcohol?
So actually, this is. We said
this in terms of the spectrum. Right?
Yeah, this is the low end. This is 5.2.
That's why I'm drinking one.
That's the low end.
This is the low end.
Introductory bit.
This is the
So the lowest you have is a 5.2.
No, our milk stout is 4.
Okay, well, that's good though. Is that what you're drinking right now?
So
I'm drinking the raspberry. We're gonna get
to that in a minute. So this Hefeweizen is.
Oh, that's different.
It's got a lot of banana, clovey type flavors. These are really characteristic of a wheat beer.
Yeah.
Especially, 80 to 90% of the flavor comes from the yeast.
Okay.
that you ferment with.
Okay.
And this is this is a traditional like Bavarian Hefeweizen.
So here's what I did. I'm gonna go here.
You're gonna
I'm
go with your certificate. You haven't broken it
Well,
out yet.
and I'm not doing the certificate actually, but I will because I have a craft beer 101 certificate.
Okay, good.
So I'm certified.
What does that mean? I don't
It
even
means I paid
understand what it
$20 and took a test, and then I paid for the
And we make fun
lamination.
of him all the
You
time.
nerd.
But hey,
He's such a nerd.
I now know.
Nerd.
How do you think I came up with malting?
That's great.
I didn't know what malting was
I didn't
until
know
I
you
had
could get a
this thing. I was like,
certificate.
oh, that's alliteration. That
Hops
works.
with Heath is jealous. He's
I
gonna
know.
have a
Hops with
certificate next
these.
week.
You will
Look,
never
he's
get a
he's
guest
gonna have
spot on
eating
my show.
So what I like, so typical wheat beers to me, right, have a suntan lotion flavor,
Mhm.
right? Like I can't stand it. Like every time when
Like it's
somebody- when
oily
it's a-
or it just.
No, he says it tastes like
literally
sunscreen.
tastes like sunscreen. I'm in my mouth. Like there's something about them, but
Whereas
that
I love
I've
them.
been saying
Yeah.
that is nowhere. It doesn't have it
Yeah.
at all, right? So I really appreciate. Like I like a wheat beer, right? But I want it.
This
I don't
is-
want it to be suntan lotiony.
Like I said, this is supposed to be a good summer drinking beer.
Don't
Yeah.
put suntan
It is what we
lotion
make
in my
our raspberry love
We
with.
asked him how
Yeah,
many.
which makes
Right.
this even better.
Yeah.
I'm loving the raspberry love. So
mouth. Very good, man.
so check it out. Okay, bring us to the next one here.
Okay, the next one is
Testing two.
our Dirty Blonde.
Dirty Blonde.
Um,
Okay, you guys are drinking that.
We're
Okay.
drinking Dirty Blonde. It's good.
So-
Okay, it is.
Mike, you should taste it.
Well, tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, Dirty Blonde. It's got Weyermann Vienna malt and Weyermann Pale Ale malt in
Okay.
it. It's got Mount Hood and Tenanger hops.
Okay.
It's a blonde ale that's got a lot of attitude.
Okay.
That's the
Imagine
way.
that.
That's the best way that I could say it.
Imagine
Is
It's a Dirty Blonde.
you know,
Very blonde.
I wanted I wanted it to be malt forward, but
Mhm.
have some hop support to it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Like there's a lot of
Mm.
blonde
good.
beers
Good.
out there that are one dimensional.
Right, like real hoppy, right? I mean,
Yeah,
typically, or they
or
other side,
or,
real
they,
malty.
or they real malty, you know.
Yeah.
And so I wanted a little bit of both.
Yeah, I
uh,
like this. I might just drink.
You should
you'll,
drink it.
you'll find that a lot of our beers are what we consider balanced.
For sure.
We wanted a good bit of the
Mhm.
hop and a good bit of the malt coming
Right.
through in each of these beers.
Yeah.
So
Well, I can certainly. I mean, in the beers that we've had, I can taste because I appreciate the malt. I really do. Like, I do not like an overly hoppy beer.
Can you
Um,
explain it from your perspective?
Yeah.
What's hoppy?
I think hoppy to me is when it jumps down the back. It hops down the back.
I'm
of
going to
your
be
throat,
interested to
and
see
it's
what
really dry.
I'm going
Like
to
a
see.
little
I'm going to
heart-
see what you say about our
Okay,
IPA
cool. All right.
because
Like bitter.
IPAs are real popular in Texas.
I know
Like,
they are, and I like some. I'm like, ooh, IPA. I don't think I want that because I'm worried about it just being so like jump down my throat hoppiness, like just dry. I don't know. I can't really. That's the
Breaks your palate.
yeah. It's like it's just not balanced. I think too many of those beers are overly hopped.
Yeah.
and not balanced enough.
Yeah.
At all,
right.
Yeah. All right,
So
well,
next one is Midtown Bach.
Midtown Bach.
It's
Which, this
That's
is cool
good.
because it is not like Shiner Bach, right? Be clear
Yeah.
about that.
it's a little bit
brown.
copper colored.
I love the color.
It's pretty.
We brew it with again pale ale malts. Most of our beers are very German centered.
like German beers.
You know, we love German beers
Yeah.
here.
Is there a German heritage from one of y'all or all of you?
Yeah.
I have a lot of German heritage actually, but I just love the beer. I also made my pilgrimage to Munich, you know, and
it was
the beers there are so
Street
good.
credibility.
and it's in it. And if you haven't hit Oktoberfest,
Yes,
it's just like, well, it's just another dimension.
it is.
What
it
is the there's a beer house there like all the tourists go to, right, in Munich,
the Hofbrauhaus?
the Hofbrauhaus.
Yes. I
And
stayed
you
at the
sit-
hotel right across the street.
Oh my God.
I stumbled home one too many nights.
Hey, we had these crazy sunglasses and we made people wear them that didn't speak English,
Yeah,
and they would sit and talk to them, dude. But that was like way too many
I can't.
glasses a year
Yeah.
later. It was one of the best trips I've ever had in my life. I've never been that drunk on beer ever, and it was awesome. But I was
I
much
said-
younger. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I sat down and I had a liter of beer at dinner, and then
liter.
and then another liter after dinner.
Is that the metric system? I don't know.
Yeah, it was like
it's only one beer. It's only one beer. We only had
I'm
two.
mass bitter.
So let's try this guy right here. So this is the Bach. Hey,
Go ahead.
Jump in, brother.
Sure.
Give us some tasting notes
Before
on
we
that.
got on camera,
we're
I
gonna go a little bit
had
longer.
a whole
We're good.
Yeah, we
had a whole
we'll
glass
spit-
of this.
Mike here has been a lot of fun, so we're gonna
Hey.
go a little bit longer than 30 minutes. I'm gonna tell you.
Listen, you gave a little distinction earlier between hoppy and malty.
Yeah.
I want to say that this one meets the middle.
Reach the middle.
Yeah.
This meets the middle. Here we go.
All right, Julie, you wanna give us a little taste on that?
I just finished a whole pint of it. So
Yeah.
So he's Mike likes
As did
it.
I.
Ooh, I like
Don't you
that.
feel like that falls?
So this is the
This
Midtown
is-
box.
square
this is our
in the middle.
Midtown Bock. It's got pale ale malt. It's got care
that's
red
good.
malt, and it's also
They're
got
so
some
hoppy.
aromatic malts in there. So there's a lot of
That's good
like
and smooth.
complex character.
Ugh.
Yum.
Right?
It's
Back
real
on track.
delicious.
Yeah,
I'll take
I
it.
like that's a good.
I'll take a drum of
That's
that.
good.
I'll take a drum of
That's
that.
so
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna.
Mike's gonna finish it.
Mhm.
Good job, Mikey.
I like that.
I did too.
I'm gonna have one of those when we're done.
It's a very popular beer.
Yeah,
A lot of our accounts order that, and
Nice.
they keep reordering.
yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
obviously because people like it. It's such a well balanced beer. Well balanced.
is.
Yeah.
The next one is our mid-frequency IPA.
Okay.
This is
This is when you said, "Hey, I'm interested."
Yeah,
in
I'll-
taste.
I want you to taste it.
Okay.
See what you think. It is an IPA. It's got about 82 IBUs,
Which means it's bitter
which
on
means
the
it's bitter.
bitterness scale. Yeah.
But we tried to balance it out with a lot of malt.
It softens out.
It softens it a little bit.
Yeah.
We did Columbus, Centennial, and Chinook hops, the 3 Cs. Wonderful,
I love
wonderful hops. I love them.
that. This
So you don't actually
that's
taste
good.
the bitterness.
Yeah.
That's
No,
good.
it brings it. Yeah, the malt pulls it down, but it allows the
It's
flavor
not as
to
hoppy
be
as
there.
I thought it would be.
It
So-
seems like that's a little more liquidy, more watery. Does that make sense? Like as I look at the other
Sure.
beers.
When you're tasting beer, there's the mouthfeel.
Yeah,
Um,
I knew that. I knew mouthfeel.
Mouthfeel, right? Certificate. So as you get into the milk stout, you'll probably realize that mouthfeel is a big difference.
Yeah. But you can have a dark beer that has a light mouth.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I'm beginning to understand is like beer is just a palate.
He's like, you can finish it.
Beer is a palate. And,
No, you don't want.
You can finish it. I'm gonna
Okay.
pick up these two in a second.
Mm.
One of these two.
I can't wait.
I love
I'm
it.
waiting for this one though.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
one I've been waiting for.
This is Porter Authority. This is a traditional English brown porter.
English brown porter.
So
Okay.
porters are like the smaller cousins to a stout.
Okay.
So stout, as you mentioned in mouthfeel, is like milky
Yeah.
almost. It's
Yeah.
thick. A porter should be more watery,
Okay.
but has very many of the similar flavors. You know, it's a toasty, roasty coffee.
Yeah.
But I didn't put any of those things in there. It's all barley.
So there's
So
no coffee taste.
since you're malting with Mike,
Malting with Mike.
the malting process that goes on in a malting house is very complicated. We get so many different products that I can use as a brewer
Yeah.
to create just this from grains.
Okay.
And so I don't add any coffee to this,
Okay.
although you'll taste some coffee.
And you get the rich color.
You get the
right?
rich color because what they do is they take the grains in from the farmer and they spread them out over the warehouse floor. They'll sprinkle some water on those seeds, and then the plant thinks, I need to germinate into a plant, and it builds
Okay.
up a whole bunch of sugar
And
in those
that-
seeds.
Okay.
And this is the malting process. But
It
just
smells
before
like
it sprouts
coffee.
into a plant, just before it sprouts, they go up, they dry it, and they
Okay.
cut it off. So there's
Wow.
a whole bunch of like
it smells
sugar.
like coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells like.
Can I ask you
Dude,
a
I
quick
like
question on it though?
Sure.
Is it always? Are you always able to assume the darker the beer, the higher the alcohol content, or is that
No.
complete?
Completely
can't.
wrong.
Completely
We have
wrong.
learned
That's
that that
completely
is
wrong.
not the
That
case.
is not the case.
That's why you have
So-
rookies on the show.
So again, they just dry it, but after they dry
You
it,
smell
that's
it.
that's
You
like
smell
that's
it.
like regular pale malt.
Okay.
This is like your regular
Starbucks.
2-row.
Yeah.
Now you can take that malt that's been dried
Yeah.
and you can roast it.
Okay. So you
Okay,
take the
just
dry,
like just
okay.
like coffee beans, you roast
yeah,
the
you
coffee
roast
beans.
them all. Okay.
You roast the malt, and you get wonderful caramel, coffee,
Okay.
dark flavors. This
and
dark
that's what
coloring.
gives the dark color.
Yes, that's
Got
what gives
it.
the
Got
so
it.
the malting house has produced all these different types of things that I use as a brewer
Yeah.
to make the wonderful range of flavors that you have in front of you.
And the colors.
And the colors,
And
yeah,
the color,
it's great.
like, and all the colors. It's like,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna-
say hello to people as we make to the next
Okay,
part. So we have people on. Hi, Chuck. Gabriel Fuller. She lives 2 blocks from here.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Katie. Denise.
Look at that. Got
Chris
Jonathan.
is watching.
We got a lot of
Jonathan,
people watching.
Shatana. Hello,
Thanks for
everybody.
watching,
If I
guys.
missed a
We
name.
appreciate you. Okay, I'm like, this is one I'm super enjoying because I've already had, well, I'm on 1.5, not 2. Just be clear.
Sure about that?
This one right here,
Keep it count?
this is another edition of the Radar Love.
Yes.
But
It's
So
raspberry flavor.
it's raspberry. So in a
Yeah.
traditional shandy type beer, you take
Candy.
a finished product of beer and you mix it with some juice. So we bought some pure organic brewing purees from Oregon
That's gonna be my
Fruits
next one.
up in Oregon and mixed it with our Radar Love.
got it.
And so we have a
At the end of the process.
So we have a fully fermented beer.
Yeah.
It's ready to go, and I mix in pure brewing purees that are organic, all natural,
Yeah.
no added sugars or anything.
Yeah.
It's just straight
Flavor. Right? The
flavor
juice.
from raspberry, and I
Yeah.
added it to our Radar
Man.
Love to make a shandy.
Tasty.
It's
like that
very
one.
good.
Right, you
Yeah.
could. This is hot day, Houston,
Hot day,
Texas.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's good.
On. Like I'm on a boat.
Finish this.
It's got that bouquet. I mean, it's got some fruit going on.
What are you drinking, Adrian?
Adrian's drinking something, but he forgot.
You don't know.
You don't
Yeah.
know?
It's the
Can
dirty
you
blonde.
tell by the
That's
glass
the dirty
what he's
blonde.
drinking?
It's
I think it's
definitely
a
the
dirty
dirty
blonde.
blonde.
I like the Radar
yeah, I
Love.
know Radar. Yeah.
Radar Love.
Radar Love. Radar
Yeah.
Love.
Radar. That sounds like an 80s song, Radar Love.
It is. It
Radar
is.
Love. We did not take it from that,
Okay.
for the record.
They're just flying underneath the radar as the flies
So,
fly
that's
around.
right.
Let's talk about this bad guy right here. This is super dark, right? That's like a Coca-Cola.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah. Look at
It
the
is
difference.
dark.
Wow.
that is our milk stout.
I like milk
Wow.
stouts. I'm a stout fan. I like dark beers. I just
So
I
this
love 'em.
this one is actually called Little Bear
Okay.
Oh, little bear.
because we have our Laughing Bear is our Russian Imperial Stout. We ran out of that in the wintertime, but that's our very strong beer. So it was 10.5, 11%.
Wow.
So what we did to make such a strong beer is we took the same mash and we had the second runnings make a slightly less intense beer called
Okay.
Little Bear.
Okay.
So this is actually the second runnings from
Okay.
our Russian Imperial Stout.
Got it.
And then we added lactose to it to give it the milky flavoring.
That's how you get the milkiness. In it.
You
You're
can
saying lactose.
well, lactose is one. It doesn't have a silky mouthfeel. The silky mouthfeel comes from rolled oats. If you add rolled oats into your mash, you'll get a silky. This one's still a little bit watery.
Super smooth. Though.
Yeah.
This is super smooth.
Wow.
But
I mean,
this is the second runnings from our Russian Imperial Stout, which was real heavy.
which would be if you had the Russian Imperial probably be like
Yeah, we only serve it.
Strong,
We only
yeah.
serve it in little snifters.
Yeah,
We're
right.
really.
Like a protein shake.
yeah,
This
that's right.
this one's smooth. This one's more like. Actually, it has the background of a porter, but
Right.
we've added lactose to it to make it like milky.
So when it's like I appreciate I like a Guinness, although now that I'm drinking
Sure.
more and more other beers,
Like, yeah.
but I love the fact that like with the Guinness, I don't know if that's like nitro, whatever that means, but I like that nitro infusion into a beer.
Sure.
So I mean, could you do that with any of these beers so that they're like less airy? Does that make sense? Like when you nitro, when there's something about that is
Carbonation adds a whole lot to beer.
yeah.
I would say that back in the day, there was beer gas, which was actually
Yeah.
a mixture of nitrogen and carbon dioxide
Okay.
in a mixture, so that it wasn't as harsh. So some carbonated liquids are a little bit sharper tasting, but most ales and beers in the craft beer industry are just carbonated,
Straight up carbonated.
straight up carbonated.
Okay.
If you wanted to add nitrogen, you could do beer gas, a mixture of carbonation, and that's
all they do.
that would
Okay.
smooth it out. That would
Okay.
smooth it out a lot.
Got it.
If you wanted to go full nitrogen, where you're dissolving nitrogen gas instead of carbon dioxide, the nitrogen makes smaller bubbles,
Yeah.
so it gives a different
Right.
mouthfeel, and it doesn't taste as I don't know, acidic.
Yes.
So it over the result.
I like the
result
creaminess.
is yeah. The result
creaminess
is
of a Guinness, right?
yeah.
Like,
The
it's kinda
result
like
is something that's
the
much smoother.
The mouthfeel.
Yes.
The mouthfeel.
So I have to ask, how did you learn all of this? Did you like go?
Books.
Obviously, you did not go to Beer 101 certificates. What
Maybe
did
you
do?
started there. You could have started there.
Books.
Thought you just read.
It's
I
like
read
you're like a
and
history
experience.
knowledge on all kinds
And
of stuff.
experience on being a home brewer and being a super
So
geek.
what got you to want to drink beer? Did you start? Were you like that 15-year-old still in your daddy's beer and drinking beer?
No,
No.
actually, I didn't like
That's
beer.
not you,
I didn't
that's
like
a
beer
brewing
until
degree.
college.
Oh my god! Hang on.
You could get a master's in
You
brewing.
can get a master's at brewing at SIU. And Adrian Miller's alma mater at SIU. If you could be a Salukian, a Saluki.
My dad's a Saluki.
Oh God, they're all over the place.
Wow.
Oh my
Southern
God.
Illinois University.
He's a Saluki.
We could get
Dad's
a
a
bachelor's.
Saluki. Adrian's a Saluki.
I'm serious.
Hey, Adrian knows all the
Carbondale,
professional football players that are
Illinois.
Salukians. Yeah. And he's like, I hear about
Gracious.
Salukis all the time.
Just
I'm
we
like,
just made
I
a
love it,
connection.
man. I'm a beer cat. That's my beer,
Beer
cat. I
cat.
don't even know.
Yeah.
Dan Rather. I'm
You're
in.
a
That's
beer
it.
cat?
I'm a beer cat.
I'm a
Same
beer
as-
cat.
Ah, I'm a cat.
It's called a bear, not a
It's
beer.
Oh,
It's a bear,
cat.
not a beer.
Well, I spent my time here in a different way. And it went behind bars. So,
Wow.
It's a bear, not a beer.
let's go to this one. We got to wrap it up. We're
Okay,
running. We're running.
Last
on this
one. Last one is a rendition on Porter Authority.
show. Okay.
What we did is we took coconut and infused it.
Oh, this is going to
Into-
take suntan for you.
This may be,
Maybe suntan lotion.
but again, this is a flavoring on Porter Authority
Yeah.
I
that
can't
is.
even say because
I don't-
I like
I don't-
the suntan apparently.
I don't like coconut, and this beer is
It makes
still
it
very
sweet.
good.
It
Yeah,
makes it sweet.
Imagine
No, that's
that.
not suntan lotion.
It's not. It's like a sweet taste.
No, that's sweet.
so
It's almost like
so
a
we
dessert
took
beer.
we took
It's
raw.
like a
It's a
dessert
dessert beer.
beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We wanted. We have a huge range of flavors here for people to try out.
Yeah, it's a broad flavors,
Moose,
colors,
what's your favorite beer,
Yeah,
Moose?
absolutely.
whatever my daddy makes the day he makes it.
Kind of
Moose,
like
what's
I
your
feel
favorite
like
beer?
Jimmy Buffett should be playing right now with that beer, and I should be
Yeah.
on the beach,
I
right?
Yeah.
know.
It was
It's very
very
good.
good, man. These are Mike.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say thank you.
I
You
agree.
have
This
walked
has
us
been
through a
fun.
spectrum of some really good beers. You have a
And we
great
learned
brewery here in the
history.
middle of Midtown, right? I mean, it's like this is tucked away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Salukian or Saluki, sorry, Salukian.
Say it again. Yeah.
Salukian.
Stop now.
Through my dad. I'm actually a Boilermaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this too.
I'm a
May
Purdue
the fourth
Boilermaker.
be with you. Oh wait, that's Star Trek. Yeah, okay, so that was so bad. I'm gonna wrap this show up.
Wrap it up now.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, Mike.
So thank you for joining us for the show, Malting with Mortgage Mike. Our next show, 2 weeks is at Sigma.
I love the Sigma guys.
We're going
Have
to
fun
Sigma in
time.
2 weeks, so cool.
Yeah.
We'll be there with them. Hey,
we
we got
gotta
a
finish it
renovation.
up.
We got a renovation loan seminar coming up next week on Thursday. So if you want to find out about renovation financing, I don't care if you're a buyer, or realtor, whatever. Come on, it's gonna be on Thursday morning, 9:30 at my new office. You got to check out that space.
I'm excited.
I am too. And in the words of our famous founding father, beer is proof. Loves it. God loves us and wants us to be happy. Right?
God is great.
God
is great.
Amen.
Bye. Have a good day, everybody.
Cool, man.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
No, I
That was great,
enjoyed
man.
this. This is